Hey everyone, it's Systemon82 and I'm back with a few more things. These are observations, because a lot of information has been leaking recently about the Fallout, skill system. Well, no, a lot of information and videos and shit have been leaking about the game, and I'm not about to spoil plot or actual things. I'm going to talk about mechanics and other observations from the system. And no, I'm not going to put up any of the video because, people's channels are getting ripped down because it's, breaking street date and that's upsetting people for valid reasons. Upsetting Bethesda and viewers alike, so, I figure I'll mention a few things while I give this a professional would record the video beforehand and then just edit it as they needed it, or record a voice track then purposefully record specifically that much video. But nah, I like to do things the not at all professional way. That was interesting. But anyway, so observations. Alright, in the new Fallout system, there's no skill points. That might sound a little odd to people, and it is a very reasonable thing to think that, considering the skill systems in Fallout were, pretty integral to the everything. But the skills still exist. You gain ranks in skills based on a combination of your stats and the perks you have. Now, there is no level limit, so you end up with an absolutely obscene amount of perks after a while. And you'd think that, that would be a problem, because perks only have, an infinite number of levels, and 70 perks. Wow, there's a lot of Talon Company assholes around here. But an infinite number of levels and 70 perks sounds like it's not a good combination. But each perk has levels. Each level may do something different. And I'm not sure. There's a lot of misinformation at the moment going around. You may just be able to cycle through the perks again later. Now, you can only unlock levels of perks equal to your stat. So if you have, level 10 strength, you can unlock level 10 perks, and that's pretty good. And that might sound like something you want to do early on, but you only have 21 special points to spend, since everything starts with 1 point. So that means that you really can have every special stat at 3, and then a few at maybe 5. And my math is probably off there, because I'm actually trying to do that off the top of my head, and I'm effing terrible at math. What the hell is following me? It's a ghost, apparently. But, and aside from that, there are also perks that can be earned from quests or various actions, like in Fallout New Vegas, you could actually earn perks from cannibalism and eating enough people, and I assume there's probably, perks like that in there where you do enough of one thing or another and it gives you one. But, that's gonna be minor. There probably, there probably will be perks that everyone goes, oh my god, you has to have this. It is the most important perk in the Evers. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. If it's not the build you want to build, then don't fucking do that. So, stop that stupid controller. So, that's once again, it's your own personal character, build it how you want. So, gear doesn't wear in Fallout 4, from everything I've seen. In the videos I saw, and like I said, you'll have to find them on your own. I don't even know where you would find them. There's no, repair buttons in the inventory screens at all. There's no, there's no nothing, honestly. It's just, gear. There's nothing too special to be said or done about it. Okay, well, that's bullshit. But anyway, the basic gist of it is, it's not going to be as big a deal to scavenge, except you may be using parts from various weapons to construct other things. Because keep in mind, you are going to be constructing a lot of pieces for various weapons, or even various weapons themselves from scratch. So there may be a perfectly valid reason to still carry around, you know, and of course I'm cheating because this is just me doing shit for fun. You know, maybe still a valid reason around to carry around an inventory like that. I don't know. There may not be at all. But, you know, or it might just be something you want to do anyway. Keep in mind, you're going to have to outfit, you know, your companions. 15, I am told. I could have that number entirely wrong. But that is the number I keep hearing people say. And if it is, that's pretty goddamn awesome. You'll also have to continue outfitting your settlements. And the settlements could be interesting. We'll see how that goes. I may not, if I can record the game with any ability, I may not do any of the settlement stuff immediately. I may do that later. But, anyway. Let me see. Other than that, power armor. Now, I'm told power armor actually appears extremely early in the game. It can actually appear before you even get your companions. And people are kind of upset about this, because it seems like it's being handed to you, and there's a lot of people who like to earn, and it's difficult, but alright, power armor is no longer a piece of equipment. And this might be a little spoilery, so if you don't want to know about the mechanics of power armor now, you probably want to, you know, turn it off. But power armor is a vehicle, and after the quest, it looks like, from what I was able to tell, you will be required, in order to power the power armor, to feed it micro-fusion cells. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, wow, that's, you know, not too bad. There are micro-fusion cells everywhere. You can get them from merchants. But it's not just that. Because the micro-fusion cells, if they didn't change the weight, they weigh 10 pounds each. So that is a lot of your inventory being spent for the purpose of being able to ride around in your power armor. Now, that's cool and all, because power armor is, of course, really fucking rad. I mean, look. It's rad, even though it's, you know, totally hacked, cheating power armor, because I like crawling around and shooting things. But, you know, that's still, you know, I don't know the limit, but if you just want to go out exploring, which can, you know, can conceivably be something that, you know, you can do for like 3 or 4 hours, you might have to carry like 30 or 40 micro-fusion cells. Now, the power armor is something, and that's just when, you know, things are going on. Also, worth note, the power armor, you don't appear to be able to die in the power armor, or at least take damage. I'm not sure about that. But the important thing is that, okay, I forgot about these. But anyway. So anyway, the important thing about it really is that you really won't be carrying around all those cells all the time. And the reason is, once you get the power armor, you kind of feel, okay, I'm in God mode now. There's no point in worrying about anything. I mean, you can still get hurt if you decide to charge headlong into all of the fuck. And, you know, so it's not a great idea, but it might. It's going to require you to be more careful and to, you know, plan things out. Which, you know, is also cool because with the customization options they've added for the power armor, I imagine it'll affect things like fuel efficiency and damage reduction. And that's kind of neat as far as I'm concerned because, you know, you may be able to create a power armor set that gets really good fuel efficiency and has decent damage reduction, so you might be able to just fucking tool around town in it, for ages and ages. And if I did that, I'd feel really goddamn proud of myself, honestly. I'd be like, hey, cool, I made the shit. I made a cool shit. But, that's gonna be one of those things that I honestly have to spend time doing. And on the subject of time, freezing enemies no longer, or searching enemies no longer freezes time. Which is something that I'm, a little bit hesitant about, because there are a lot of times where, you might end up feeling like you had to do that, or actually having to do that so that you could, pop in and, do things. And the same actually goes for, any type of, anything that you do other than enter your Pip-Boy freezes time, or doesn't freeze time anymore. So if you, go in here to move through your inventory, you can do that once. The other important thing about the time freezing thing is you seem to be very limited with the amount of action economy that you get from when you're in there. So it looks like you can open your Pip-Boy and use a single healing item or maybe a single buff, and I could be wrong once again, because I'm just watching these videos and, trying desperately to glean what information I can from them, because I'm, rabid obsessive fan. So that's, that's what I get out of it. So, once again, let's see. Same mini games for lockpicking and hacking. The thing I don't know about that, which I haven't seen any information on yet, of course, is whether or not, now that there are no skills, because there are 2 perks, which appear to be either called or directly related to lockpicking and hacking, whether you need to take those perks to lockpick or hack at all. That would kind of be right around where I would draw the line. And that's not exactly cool in my book. But, I guess that's something that you can get used to. I see. One of the other things people have really, really been complaining about is, and here's, you'll see, or I'll explain why this doesn't bother me. Obviously, because you're listening to me blather anyway. But it seems that there are now, just straight up 4 dialogue options whenever you enter or whenever you go up to or are talking with a person. Yeah, that was way easier to say than it actually, was when I tried to say it. But looks like you have, the 4 standard options: good, evil, neutral, and sarcastic. Now, this is the way, from what I remember of Fallout, and it may change what options you have if there's, or if you have a higher, well, there's no speech skill anymore. It's all based off of your charisma, from what I've heard. So, it may change over time, if you have a high enough charisma so that you bring up charisma options when you're trying to talk to people. And that would be kind of cool. So, it changes, the good option, because it doesn't even have to be, just, oh, you've now got the charismatic option. It could be a good option that's charismatic, or a bad option that's charismatic, or a neutral option that's charismatic, because fuck it, who cares? They can do whatever they want. Now, people are upset about this, but this is, like I said, the way that it, as far as I can remember, has always been. I mean, sometimes you might have 2 neutrals, 2 charismatics, and I'm repeating myself entirely, but I just, that's what it feels. And the other option has always been, I have to go. Or, fuck off. Depending. So, it doesn't seem like that big a change to me. The only thing that seems to have changed is that they're now accessible on a wheel, much like Mass Effect. They, I mean, it's not the exact same thing, but it's press Y button for blah, X button for blah, A button for good, B for evil. And that's pretty much exactly it. The only difference is you're just not turning a little wheel to accept the option. So there are people complaining about this, and like, I can understand that it's kind of shitty that in some cases there were a whole bunch of dialogue options for like, I want to ask more questions. But asking more questions really only opened a new dialogue tree. And then you would get to the same, set of options on a different screen. So it's really not a huge deal. But it just seems to be really bothering people more than I feel it should. But it's video games are an art. How we interpret them is deeply damn personal. I mean, video games can absolutely do things like save lives or, drive people into deep depression. And when you get down to it, it's always, a Game of the Year game may be absolute garbage from your perspective, or a game that sold like 3 copies, maybe one of the greatest things ever created. But, it's all down to your own personal way that game filters in through what you've been through in your life. So, for me, I'm looking forward to this game, and I haven't seen anything that absolutely destroys it for me. I've actually seen very few things where, I'm not like, I'll probably be able to adapt to that. Because, that I like and appreciate the Fallout series, and I'm not willing to let a, 6-minute video I saw online tell me that this is, absolutely horrible and the world is going to end and everyone's going to start, dressing like Jimmy Durante and, just, it's awful. But no. And I honestly suggest everyone do that for themselves because, never let anyone else tell you what is and isn't cool. Fuck's sake. I mean, I don't know any other way to put that, but if anyone ever tries to tell me what to do, it's pretty much my exact immediate, reaction to gauge how much of an asshole they're being based on how much the action is actually dangerous and decide whether I'm not going to do it. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what I will and will not do unless it's something that hurts other people, in which case, yeah, that's fair. But no, just play the damn game. Don't let anyone tell you what you should and shouldn't like. And you know what? Just have a grand old time. So, thanks for watching my inane babbling. Until next time, peace.